Welcome, Summoners, to Games Cast by PanderNyrl. If you wish to see more commented games, follow my social media pages below.
Looks like we are into Game 3 of Against All Authority versus Dragonborn. And Against All Authority has first pick, and it looks like we are going to see Evelynn actually banned out this game, as Evelynn was in the first two games. Kayle banned as well, Kha'Zix out. Twisted Fate, Olaf, and Xin Zhao banned. And this is going to be a little bit different than the other games. Though I do think Against All Authority will likely grab a Shen at some point, though they do pick up Elise first. A very smart decision, as Elise has been basically banned down every single game so far. Elise, a very powerful top laner. She dominates virtually everyone in lane. She can 2v1 lane. She can even jungle if she so chooses. She just has the ability to get to that back line. And it looks like Ezreal will be picked up by Dragonborn, as Ezreal just has the ability to farm incredibly well and has done a great job all tournament long, or just being a real nuisance to anyone around him. And it looks like we are going to see Dragonborn picking up Nidalee. I think Nidalee would be a great choice here. Nidalee could go top lane, mid lane, and do a really good job in either position. We saw Nidalee used with Against All Authority last time to split push to great effect. Though I'm not sure how well she does against Elise, as Elise is a very strong split pusher herself, as her dueling power is virtually unmatched at the moment. Against All Authority, I do think we'll pick up a Shen, as they seem to love Shen, and Shen is a great choice, especially if he decides to go jungle, as he is able to just really pressure the lanes with that ultimate. And I do think a Shen will be able to split push again, but though he will be countered out by split pushing Nidalee if the Nidalee decides to go attack damage build. And we will likely see a Sona, and Sona is the choice, as Sona is one of the better supports in this tournament. She's basically part of the trinity of supports that have been used, with her, Zyra, and Lulu basically being the only supports. We've seen an occasional Caitlyn Nunu, but Nunu just not up to the laning power of some of the other supports. And it looks like Dragonborn will be picking up Zyra and Cho'gath. Cho'gath likely to be used in the jungle, as he is one of the stronger junglers. He has great ganks, and just overall a really strong champion and a great frontliner. And it looks like Dragonborn will still be needing a jungler or top laner, could be a mid laner as well. They have a lot of options open, as Nidalee, Cho'gath, and whoever they pick could go in either one of those roles. It looks like we have a Lux Graves. First time I've seen Graves this tournament, but a pretty good choice, as he does have the ability to go toe-to-toe with Ezreal and dodge Zyra roots pretty effectively with his dash. And a Lux mid lane means that they could catch someone out with Lux and just blow them apart with Graves. Really liking this lineup from Against All Authority. They have a good bit of poke with Lux and Elise. They could jump in there with Sona, Graves, and just blow someone to bits. It looks like Dragonborn will be going with Jayce. And I'm not sure Dragonborn's lineup where they're going to go, but they do have a whole lot of poking power, as they have Ezreal, Zyra, Nidalee, and Jayce, who can all poke from a pretty long distance. And then they have Cho'gath. If you try to engage on a Cho'gath, good luck getting past his Rupture. And that's a great poke comp coming out of Dragonborn. Problem is, there's a lot of ability to catch someone out from Against All Authority. They can flash Sona ultimate. Lux has the light binding for incredible long range engagements. And they have Shen taunt, which can be combined with flash for real great effect. And we're going to have a really good game on our hands here, as we have two different styles, as Against All Authority likes to split push, and I do think they have the opportunity with Elise and Shen both being incredible split pushers, while Dragonborn wants to siege turrets and do what Against All Authority did last game, which was siege turrets and siege turrets and just take the entire jungle away. And this will be game 3. Winner moves on. And should be really close. Looks like we are into the game, as we are going to see both teams likely playing defensively here. Neither team has a real strong level 1 fight compared to the other, as they both have incredibly powerful level 1 fights. As Shen has his taunt, Lux has light binding, Graves has great damage, Sona has great damage, Zyra has amazing CC, Cho'gath have great CC, Jayce, Nidalee, and Ezreal all with great damage. And neither team is going to want to fight, as people could blow up on both sides in a matter of seconds. And either team could really destroy the other in a fight. Just whoever gets a good start. Looks like we are going to have Sona throwing an early ward up top, as both teams are going to go with fairly standard starts. No real surprises coming out of either side, though Lux was taken fairly low, just by a little bit of poke from Ezreal, though she will have time to go back to base before anything really starts. She might miss a second or two of attacking minions or jungle creeps, but whoop-de-doo. Looks like we are going to have Jayce probably go take the race with Nidalee or the top golems. Either one of those is fine, though Cho'gath looks to be rotating in, as we will have Graves, Sona helping out Shen. Do the likely the double golems down bottom to get both of them a little bit of extra experience, while Ezreal and Zyra will be up taking wolves. It looks like Dragonborn didn't get their standard ward in towards the race, as it was fairly well defended, and I don't think they wanted to go in, as they could easily be caught out. Shen will be taking that double golems, as Ezreal takes wolves. Cho'gath will be starting red buff, as we do see Jayce and Nidalee taking those double golems up top. Though Cho'gath deciding not to actually go with the red buff, he is going to run all the way across and take blue buff, as Shen gets a smiteless leash on the red. He should easily be able to run over and take blue. And Cho'gath's not going to have a very good time with his buff, as he does not have level 2 up just yet. He is only level 1. He is going to have to burn through a whole lot of potions, as Graves does a good bit of damage to Zyra down bottom. Though Zyra is getting the best of this trade, as she has done a lot of harassment to Sona as well. Though Sona does have a few more potions in her inventory, as Zyra is forced to burn hers already. Both teams are going to be warding that bottom lane. And Elise is going to have a very fun time against Jayce up top, as Elise can just bully him around every time he wants to try and go in. Elise is one of the strongest duelers in the game, and her poke is unparalleled. Even though it is not in the range of someone like Nidalee, it is almost as strong as her poke. Graves taking a whole lot of damage down bottom, though he does have an extra potion compared to Ezreal, so he can afford to trade, though Ezreal has a little bit more damage. Shen should be able to take this blue buff fairly easily. Cho'gath going to be taking blue buff as well, and both of them should be fairly even, as we are likely going to see a gank fairly soon. Elise doing a great job of just poking this Jayce down. Jayce is forced to burn off several potions already, and he's likely going to be out of his flask very soon. Looks like Sona was forced to flash down bottom, as Zyra did land a root on her, and Graves taking a whole lot of damage from this Ezreal, though Ezreal is now out of potions. Graves fairly low on potions as well, and Sona does have the one ability over Zyra that's really important, and that is healing. And she can just continually heal both herself and Graves for just a little bit, as you see Lux in a bit of trouble, but she does get the light binding onto Cho'gath and keep him away. And Lux is doing a very good job of just shoving this wave into the tower and forcing Nidalee to have a real hard decision how to farm. And it looks like we do have Sona throwing out some more damage onto Zyra, as Graves is going to get caught by the roots. Though Zyra did not get an auto attack off on Graves, so the plants will not do full damage. And it looks like we are going to have Shen and Lux coming up here, likely to spot Cho'gath out and try and get on him for forced blood, as we do have Ezreal in pretty bad shape, as he does not have any potions left. Cho'gath does have his flash up, as we do see Shen coming in there, and Shen will be taunted, but he is knocked up, and that will be first blood going to Lux, as the light binding does land across, picking her up a set of double buffs, and they are likely to go dive in onto Jayce here. Great gank thereby against all authority, knowing exactly where Cho'gath was going to be. And with Lux and Shen, looks like Lux is going to throw the light binding out, and this will be a top tower going down. No way to stop it. Nidalee is going to try and push this mid tower as fast as she can, but with that canyon minion up top, this top lane is not long for the world, especially with the damage of Elise and Shen. Elise, one of the stronger tower killers in the game, thanks to all her little bitty minions, as they do tank fairly nicely for the tower. Shen is going to just dash away as the next minion wave comes in, and this will be first tower, in addition to first blood for Against All Authority, and they're looking very strong this game, as both teams have been back and forth the entire time, almost perfectly even. And Lux with blue buff this early is going to be a real pain in the rear for Nidalee, as Nidalee just can't really poke her down. Every time Nidalee wants to throw a spear, Lux can shield herself or just try and walk away, and she can poke past Nidalee's heal. Looks like we are going to see Lux backing up, not really wanting to use the blue buff to its full effect, as she does want to buy and get a little more damage before doing a whole lot. She is basically even with Nidalee at this point. Ezreal and Graves are basically even, though Graves opting for double Duran's Blades, looking to try and apply some early game pressure, while Ezreal is opting for the Vampiric Scepter, looking to go quickly into those late game items such as a Bloodthirster. Chalice up onto Lux, looking to just sustain her damage and really push out any minion waves that try and come, as her ultimate will have virtually zero cooldown in the late game. It looks like we do have Elise picking up a Duran's Ring as Jayce picks up a Duran's Blade. And both of them are going to continue to fight up top. Jayce pushing this lane fairly heavily, though Elise is at a pretty good advantage here, as she is going to grab a whole lot of minions right before they hit the tower. And it looks like we do see Nidalee going back, picking up a Kage's lucky pick. Not sure exactly what she's going to turn that into at the moment. She has a lot of options, though I think she's just going to use it for the gold generation at the moment, as it doesn't turn into anything really useful in the mid game. It's much more about holding on to it for the gold as long as you can, especially on a mid champion who's going to get pretty good farm. And Nidalee really can't jump in here, or she is going to get light bonded and really burst down. She doesn't have the mana to continually spam heals, as she doesn't have blue buff for a little bit of time. Ezreal taking a fair bit of damage from that buckshot of Graves, but Zyra applying a lot of damage to the Sona, and Sona not having a very good time, as she's basically gone all potions this game, and just not had a good time against this Zyra, as Zyra has just harassed her down with plants, which is Zyra's real strength. Looks like Lux has taken a fair bit of damage from Nidalee as she did pounce in there. As we do see Elise getting a fairly good advantage on the Jayce here. Shen coming down bottom and killing off the plants. And it looks like we are going to have Graves jump in there for a whole lot of damage onto Ezreal, but Ezreal will live. Zyra taking a whole lot of damage. Will Graves finish her off with buckshot? Yes, he does. Collateral damage, finishing her off. And they do get out of range before Zyra can finish or do any retaliatory damage with her passive. Looks like Shen and Lux are looking to push this mid lane as Cho'gath does come in. Nidalee looking to do a lot of damage, but the shield from Lux basically prevents a whole lot of it, as a close range spear from Nidalee does not do a whole lot of damage. And Against All Authority really applying the pressure to Dragonborn, as they've done an amazing job of pressuring every single lane. Graves has gotten a good advantage up on Ezreal, and that kill will solidify it. And the top tower is getting fairly low, as they weren't able to actually push it down earlier. And it looks like Lux is going to be able to do a whole lot of damage to Nidalee here in the mid lane, as Cho'gath will just feast up onto the red buff. Lux should be able to pick up the blue buff for herself in a few moments, which means she should be able to push Nidalee down. And Graves will actually take the first tower of the game down bottom, thanks to his ability to just bully Ezreal around. Top tower taken down by Elise. And Against All Authority is up to a 3,000 gold lead, thanks to the minion waves pushing and the 2 towers, in addition to 2 very well earned kills. Looks like Shen is going to be picking up a Giant's Belt. Elise finishing off a Haunting Guise, as we do see Graves picking up a BF sword. Jayce is playing for the late game, as he has picked up the Tear of the Goddess. And I do think Dragonborn is looking to try and play for late. That's going to be their real big advantage, is if they can get to late game and just siege out some of these towers, they will have an advantage. The question is, can they get to late game before Graves does and Lux, where they can just catch someone out, burn them for all their health in a few seconds, because the burst damage coming out of those two is really going to make these fights hard for Dragonborn, especially in the mid game. Looks like we will have a needlessly large rod picked up on Lux, as Against All Authority is really looking to dominate this mid game. Dragonborn is going to group up as 5, likely going to rotate down to Dragon in a few moments after applying some pressure to this tower. I don't think Shen's going to want to do anything here until the rest of the team comes up here, as that tower is getting fairly low, though he does take the harassment by the plants. A very good decision, which means they are going to back up. Elise coming in from the side, as she does throw some harassment out there. Cho'gath soaking it though. And Graves doing a great job of split pushing, as I don't think he's really needed for this fight, as they can't fight under tower at this point in time. And Lux with her ultimate is going to have enough wave clear. Looks like Zyra does take a little bit of damage, but not enough, as she is healed up slightly by Nidalee. Graves with a nice shot blast does a whole lot of damage to Lux, and she did not get her shield off in time. We do see Dragonborn being forced back 5v4, as they are going to look to try and catch Graves out there, but we do see the entire team of Against All Authority in the area. They do catch Elise out slightly, but it is not enough as they do pull Dragon. Ezreal is in the area trying to do something, but Graves will be able to apply a lot of damage. Nidalee Spear does land on the Shen for a whole lot of damage, and he is going to have to play it very safe as those Nidalee Spears are doing a ridiculous amount. Shield by Lux does come out. Ultimate from Lux does a whole lot of damage as collateral damage flies through, and there's Jayce down before the fight begins. Shen ultimate does come on Elise as she flashes forward, but there is not going to be much of a fight as the Dragonborn side decide to back up, considering the amount of pressure Elise is throwing. Ultimate does go out from Ezreal, getting Elise fairly low. Shen takes a spear to the face, but there is Lux with another light binding to finish off Nidalee. And 2 kills, but no dragon taken. And that's a good win for Against All Authority. And that means we are going to see another fight at Dragon fairly soon, as Against All Authority really does want to fight. And that's the power of Lux. And that's why Lux is really come up as a champion, as her ability to catch people out with that light binding and punish them. Especially if you have another burst champion like Graves. Because we saw what happened to Jayce. He got in there, he just got caught out in the very tip of it, but the rest of the combo from Graves and Lux meant he was not going to be in that fight. And without Jayce, they don't have the damage at this point in time. Graves taking a good bit of harassment by Zyra, but he is able to heal it back up thanks to the double Duran's blades. And it looks like we are going to see Against All Authority going back towards Dragon, as they do see Jayce up top. Jayce will not have the ability to come down anytime soon, so this will be a very free Dragon coming the way of Against All Authority, and this will snowball their lead even higher, as every single one of their lanes is just winning pretty significantly. And Against All Authority doing a great job this game. Looks like, I'm not sure what Lux is going to be building, could possibly be building into an Anathane's Unholy Grail, as we do see Dragonborn taking the advantage here and going to be pushing this middle turret down. A pretty good consolation prize, as they do not get Dragon up on the Against All Authority side of things. They were forced back, as they just didn't want to fight it there. And that is a slight advantage going the way of Dragonborn. It will help them come back in this game. They're still down 3,000 or so gold, but I do think they're going to have to just stall this game out for a pretty long time, as they have picked up a second tier of the Goddess. I believe that was on Nidalee before he flipped over. And yeah, we can definitely see the gold coming in on Graves and Lux, which is well over 1,000 gold higher than their counterparts. And even Elise has shut down Jayce pretty hard, despite him having a decent amount of farm. And there's Lux with another light binding, getting Cho'gath down to about 60%. But he is able to heal up just a little bit thanks to the Nidalee heal. And it looks like we are going to see Against All Authority just continue to poke. And if Lux can get another good light binding, especially on someone a little squishier, they can engage and blow them a bit, as they don't have anyone really tanky on Dragonborn side outside of Cho'gath. Especially if someone like Ezreal gets picked off, there's no real hope for Dragonborn to fight. And Ezreal does get picked off as the full combo goes across on him, and Dragonborn is not going to be able to continue to fight. They are just too low at this point in time, as Nidalee's heals are coming out to keep everyone up above death range, as the ultimates of Lux and Graves are on cooldown. The thing is, I would like to see Sona jump in there, hit her ultimate on several under the tower, as we do see Cho'gath get stunned, and the taunt means that they will go down. Jayce is hit by the Sona ultimate, but not enough, as he is still taken fairly low, and this will be a turret taken down by Against All Authority. Those Lux bindings have been on point the entire game, and a great job by Lux, really capitalizing on every single one, as that's really been Against All Authority's game plan, and they are up 5,000 gold at the 15-minute mark, and are looking to really dominate this game. Lux has done an amazing job with those light bindings, and Against All Authority has followed through amazingly well. Jayce has completed his Manamune, and is looking to snowball into late game. Nidalee still waiting for late game, as she has picked up that Kage's lucky pick in addition to the Tear of the Goddess. And that's really where Dragonborn's going to have to win this game. I don't think they can stand the power of Lux and Graves in any team fight for the next easily 10 minutes. As they just need to tank up a little bit on their front line so they can take that initial burst. Looks like we are going to have Ezreal taking red, and he's going to go top for a little bit to just a farm. Lux has picked up blue buff. Exactly what she needs to continue poking with those light bindings. And if she can basically get light bindings for free, like she got in that last team fight, Dragonborn's going to have a very good time. And it looks like Elise is going to be building into the Liadri's Torment, as we do see Cho'gath building likely a Shirley's Reverie or a Locket of the Iron Solari. Both would be great choices. Warmong's soon to be up onto Shen. Light binding goes out but does not land, as we do see supports building up. That Ruby Sightstone just trying to tank up a bit so they don't get bursted down the second some poke flies. We do have Nidalee now with a needlessly large rod, which means her spears are going to hurt for a whole lot. The difference on the sides, though, is Dragonborn's heal is on a character that's really mana reliant. Well, against all authority, it's on the support. Sona doesn't need a whole lot of mana to do her job. She needs 100 to 200 mana tops to get her ultimate off, and that's it. While Nidalee needs mana the entire fight, and she needs to throw spears and then jump in with kitty form and then back out and throw more spears. And if she's using mana on heal, she's not going to be able to use them on spears. Looks like we are going to see Against All Authority take Dragon and extend the lead just a little bit to 6,000 gold, as both teams are looking to push out the lanes, though I do believe Against All Authority is looking to catch out Ezreal again and blow him to bits. We do see him not getting hit, as he just barely dodged. Lux and another light binding flies, as a spear does land onto Elise, and Elise took a whole lot of damage there. As we do see the poke power of Dragonborn coming into effect, as they're able to just bully Against All Authority out. Though the difference is Shen down bottom is going to have a good time against Cho'gath. Shen is slightly ahead of him thanks to the fact he does have Warmongs, and that means he will regenerate a little bit more in Cho'gath, though Cho'gath does have great regeneration naturally, assuming he can get to a creep wave. And Shen ultimate will be available to enter any of these fights. Against All Authority is up 6-0 and up 2 towers as we do approach the 18-minute mark. They have a very nice 6,000 gold lead as well, and are looking to really win this game before Dragonborn hits their stride in the late game with that massive poke comp. If Dragonborn can just hold out, they don't have to win the game anytime soon. They just need to hold out, make this a 30-35 minute game. They have a good shot at coming back. Against All Authority is playing for now, and I don't think they're going to want to wait for late game. Looks like we do have a light binding fly, but no such luck landing, as we do see Sona get taken down pretty hard by the Nidalee spear. Ezreal ultimate does fly, doing a good bit of poke damage, but not enough, as we do see Elise trying to come in from the side. And Elise with the Liadri's Torment is going to be a whole lot of damage every single time she throws out one of those spiders, as the spiders do a whole lot of damage. Zyra trying to land her roots on someone, but no such luck, as she does do a little bit of harassment and scouts out the enemy team. Jayce with another shock blast just blows those minion waves to bits, and Dragonborn has the team to stall this out. They could easily do so if they just wait long enough, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to, as a single light binding could basically end this game at any point. Graves takes a lot of damage from that Nidalee spear, as we do see Ezreal going for a quick, really quick Last Whisper. I'm not sure that was the right choice. I think he could have gone for a Bloodthirster, but he's looking to just poke people down, and I'm really not sure that's the right decision this game. Bloodthirst would allow him to stain from a poke, or even if he decided to tank up a little bit with something like a Phage, would have been a good choice here. But we'll see how it works out. Lux has completed her death cap, and she is looking to burst someone down at this point. She has the damage to do so, especially if Elise can land a little bit of poke. Graves has finished up the Zeal, as we do see, and looks like Cho'gath's going for the Aegis of the Legion into Runic Bulwark, a really good choice. Though the problem is Cho'gath's never going to be in these fights. Cho'gath has to go defend Shen. Who else are they going to send on Dragonborn side to defend Shen? They can't send Nidalee. Nidalee is poking. They can't send Jayce. There's the wave clear. And I don't think Ezreal really wants to fight Shen, as I do think Shen would get the better of that engagement. Not significantly so, but just a little bit. And you need Ezreal if a fight breaks out. So they're going to have to send Cho'gath, and Cho'gath's not going to be there with the Runic Bulwark. That's a really good decision by Against All Authority to have the Shen, as we do see Nidalee doing a whole lot of poke, And Against All Authority is losing ground as they're just taking a little bit too much damage. And Lux has not been able to get another good light binding off. Though they are split pushing fairly well. They just haven't been able to get that engagement they need with the light binding. Elise has been forced back thanks to a Nidalee spear, as we do see another Nidalee spear fly out and take Lux down. Despite having her shield up, Nidalee does get hit with a spear and taken down to about half health. Lux ultimate still available to use, and she probably could have killed her if she popped it, as Graves could have dived in and thrown out his ultimate as well. The gold lead basically sitting at 6,000 gold the entire time, as neither side's really getting any advantage. Looks like Lux is going to be picking up blue buff, and I think that's what they want. They wanted her to hit level 11, which she is now level 13, and now they're going to go in for something big. As Against All Authority needs to end this game before Dragonborn can just poke and destroy the minion waves before anything happens. Looks like Cho'gath is going to be running down mid lane as Dragonborn wants to start a fight, it looks like. As they are going to be grouping up as 5. And if they sent Cho'gath down bottom, and it looks like they might actually try and send Jayce down bottom against Shen. Jayce does have the damage to deal with Shen, and has the wave clear as well. Shen has picked up another Giant's Belt, as we do see another light binding swing and a miss. Looks like Ezreal will be able to pick up red buff fairly clean, as we continue to see Jayce build up this Mana Mune into Mana Mura. And Nidalee has finished off her death cap, so her spear is going to be doing a ridiculous amount of damage. And if she can continue to land this spear, she is going to be able to stall this game out. The gold lead is slowly coming down, as it is only about 6,000 now on the dot, where it was a little more than. And Dragonborn just farming a slightly better than Against All Authority. Not a significant amount, as we do see Ezreal throwing across those mystic shots, shot glass coming through. And they might try and catch Graves out, but not enough, as he is able to get in there and kill Zyra plants. Then dodge away with that quick draw. Looks like Graves is playing really aggressively, but he is not going to be caught out. He's taken fairly low and is forced to flash. Ezreal ultimate does fly, but it's not enough, as the Sona heal hits him in time. Though with Graves down, they are going to have to back up on the Against All Authority side. And it looks like Lux really wants to get a light binding out. And it looks like Dragon has respawned, so Dragonborn is going to run over there and try and pick it up. Ezreal is not in position, though. His ultimate is down as well. And this is a fight that Against All Authority can take. It will be a 4v4 until Ezreal arrives. Though the poke from Dragonborns does miss there. Looks like they are going to be jumping in on the Shen, but Shen's just too tanky, and he's not going to be hurt at all. Looks like Nono does throw a spear, and it just barely misses. Sona dodging it beautifully. Looks like we do have Elise jumping in onto Jayce, as Jayce takes a whole lot of damage and is forced to burn everything to get away. Looks like we are going to see a spear fly as it does hit Elise, taking her down fairly low. Graves jumping over the wall and going to be going in on this dragon. There is not a ward here for our Dragonborn, as we do see Ezreal or Zyra taken down fairly low. Sona with a beautiful ultimate on 2 means Ezreal is in a whole lot of trouble, as Cho'gath does go down, and we do see Graves picking up that kill. They do trade it for Sona, and trading Sona for Cho'gath is a pretty good trade. Looks like we do see Ezreal taking a good bit of damage as well, but he is at full health still, as he did lifesteal a little bit away. Dragon will be taken by Shen, as we do see Graves jumping up onto Ezreal, and Ezreal's taking a good bit of damage, but he is able to just shift over the wall. Elise getting fairly low, but blocks the full damage of the shock blast with her little pets. And that's a win for Against All Authority, as they do extend this lead just slightly to now about 7,000 gold. And the question is, can Against All Authority end this game before Dragonborns hits their stride? We saw in that last fight, if they get the poke off, it's going to be massive. But if they don't, they're going to lose. That's what Dragonborn strategy revolves around. It's not a safe strategy, but it is pretty good. It does look like Jayce is going to take a whole lot of damage here. And if Shen continues to tank up like this, he might just be able to sit around and soak all of the damage. He's farming incredibly well for a jungler, and his ultimate is up should a fight arise. And it looks like we are going to have a Chalice up onto Sona. A real other good choice here. She's going to need to be pumping out those heals the entire time, as she wants her team to survive. Looks like we do have an Anathane's Unholy Grail completed up onto Sona. Manamura finally completed up onto Jayce. Cho'gath looking to complete that Runic Bulwark. The Runic Bulwark's not going to be that effective on Cho'gath. As I said earlier in the game, Cho'gath's going to have to deal with Shen. No question about it. They don't have another champion that can deal with him without losing too much in a 4v4 fight. So Cho'gath will not be around the team should Poke come around. And if they do fight 5v5, I think AAA is going to lose out. Jayce is hit, Light Binding does miss, but he is going to be taken down. Beautiful use of Elise abilities there. Even though the Light Binding did miss, there was enough damage to finish him. And with Jayce down, Against All Authority can make a real push for something here. They're easily going to have a fight in their favor. And it looks like they are going to go for Baron here, as you do have Elise starting in on it. So taking a lot of damage as well, but they can just jump over the wall. And with Lux in the area to bind anyone in the area, it looks like Shen's even backing up, knowing that they're going to have to use his ultimate to finish, and it looks like Elise will be doing it. And they do catch out Ezreal, who just barely lives thanks to a barrier and heal from Nidalee. But that's just the poke. They did burn the ultimates on Graves and Lux, but those are both fairly low cooldowns, and will come up again pretty soon, as we do see Shen taking Baron, and it's a almost 10,000 gold lead for Against All Authority, as they're really looking to snowball this game in their favor. They've done a great job of building leads, but they haven't been able to penetrate deep into Dragonborn. Dragonborn still has outer towers. They have all 3 of their inner towers, and they haven't even gotten close to taking either one of them down. Dragonborn has just been able to poke and keep Against All Authority away. Against All Authority is going to need a pick-off to be able to push in, as the poke from Dragonborn is just way too high at this point, especially on Nidalee, especially if it completes her Archangel Staff pretty soon, or if she decides to go with the attack damage route of Manamura, as the Manamura does work with her spears, though the damage is not amplified, I don't believe. Looks like we do have another Blasting Wand up on Deluxe. Phantom Dancer finished up on the Graves. We do have the Spirit Visage picked up onto Elise, as Sunfire Cape is completed on Shen, as Graves is going to split push up top. Cho'gath looking to try and fight him, but it's not going to be a very good sight, as Elise is just continuing to split push, and she will catch out Zyra just slightly, though they are going to try and get on her, and Elise is not in good shape here, though that spider does a whole lot of damage. And Graves will be able to take this top tower down, as Against All Authority just split pushing, and there's Ezreal taken down right before the fight starts. Beautiful Lux with a double kill, and this means Against All Authority should be able to push to an inhibitor with both those champions down. And that's just the power of Lux. The light binding so incredibly strong, and that's why you pick Lux. You pick her for the light binding and the damage from her ultimate, as it is a whole lot. Cho'gath does get caught out just a little bit and burned down, and that is one inhibitor down off the almost perfect light binding, and it might mean another inhibitor tower going down as well, as this Lux has been an absolute monster this game, and a great champion to pick off when the game is on the line, and a chance to go really deep and make your career. You pick a Lux and you're playing this well, you're in great shape. As it looks like we do see Cho'gath going to be taken down here, and it looks like we are going to see a second inhibitor of the game going down in Against All Authority's favor, and they should back up here, though they could push in. I think they're going to back up and buy before the next fight starts. And this has been the Lux show this game. She is involved in 10 of her team's 12 kills, and they've only given up 1 kill, which was on the support. And this has been Against All Authority's game. They've really done an amazing job, as we do see Lux picking up that Void Staff and a Giant's Belt, which means she can burn anyone down on the Dragonborn side of things. 14,000 gold lead for Against All Authority, and they are looking to end this game pretty soon. Ezreal has almost completed the Infinity Edge. We do see Cho'gath just tanking it up, and I'm not sure what's next on the plate for Nidalee. Likely going to complete the Archangel Staff, and Dragonborn's not out of it yet. It's really hard to push into them unless you get a pickoff. Problem is, Lux has been hitting those light binds, especially given the number of opportunities they've had, because they've had Lux just sitting back, throwing light binds out the entire time, and when she lands one, it's a big one. And it looks like they are going to just siege out this bottom lane, and someone's going to have to go defend top and mid lane fairly soon. And I don't think they have the damage just on Ezreal to do it. So they're going to have to send 2 people back as soon as those lanes snowball up some minions. And it looks like Shen is just going to tank up this tower, as I don't see any way to defend it. And that will be 8 towers to 1, as Dragonborn just has not had a good opportunity. Ezreal ultimate does fly, but not enough, as they can just run in there and tank the tower, as Graves is really tanky at this point. He has completed a Warmongs and is looking to just snowball this game to victory. He's done a great job of comboing with Lux as well. He's jumped in, blown his big combo with Luxes, and they've picked off people with it. It's just a great situation for Against All Authority. They are playing incredibly well, and this will be the tower down, as we do see Shen taunt in there just onto Cho'gath. Zyra ultimate is used to no real effect, and it will mean this inhibitor goes down, and Dragonborn's not even defending it, and that means that Against All Authority is likely going to win this game. I don't see any way Dragonborns can come back from having all 3 inhibitors down this early in there, especially when Ezreal is going to go down here, though no, he is not. Jumps away as Lux ultimate was not on cooldown. Elise does repel in, but there is 2 turrets down, all turrets down for Against All Authority, and they are pushing the Nexus. And will they be able to finish it off? It looks like they will finish it off, as Against All Authority advances. Beautiful play on that last one, and give Lux an MVP award for that game. They played so well.
Thank you for watching Games Cast by PanderNyrl. For more commented games, please visit my YouTube and stream channels.